Welcome to this new video. This time I'm gonna deviate from my regular videos where they are technical in nature and we evaluate and test and configure different solutions, different cybersecurity solutions of different aspects. And I wanna cover an interesting topic that is very important for everybody to have in mind if you are in the security field, and that is information security policies. So, as you can see here, I have an acceptable use policy template that I downloaded from SANS, and I'm going to cover that in a minute. But policies are important for all organizations because they're going to serve as the directive of what your information security program is going to look like and what you're trying to accomplish. Policies, a policy document by itself, is not going to do any good to you in the sense that it is not going to stop any potential attack or is not going to maybe change something in your environment, but it's gonna serve as the northern star that you can use to follow your information security program and mature your information security programs. As I mentioned before, all my videos in the past have been about configuration and technical configurations. But if you are in the security field, if you are a network administrator, uh, you have to start looking into information security policies. Otherwise, you're going to have an organized uh, environment where things are not going to be consistent with each other, right? So let's talk about it for 1 second. So let me come over here and I have these, and again, policies are mostly related to the information security aspect of cybersecurity, right? When it comes to IT security, you have the cybersecurity teams, right? You know, the red team, the blue teams, the purple teams, and all those teams in there. And then you have the information security department who oversees that those technical controls in place in the organizations are designed to protect and secure the data of the organization. And then you have the IT, the technical teams, you know, they're going to be managing the technology and helping users and all that. So, why would anybody care about this? And this is something that you're going to start looking into for many different reasons. Number one, maybe you have to comply with regulatory compliance such as HIPAA, right? Or PCI or SOX or any other type of regulatory compliance depending on the industry that you are part of. Or maybe you want to follow information security best practices and standards such as NIST. And NIST has a plethora of different standards, and the one of the current ones at the time of this video for security best practices 800-53, or you can follow one of the ISO standards, the 27001, or any other standards they have out there, or you can even implement information security frameworks such as CIS. Anyway, so let me come back here. So once you realize that you have to comply or meet any regulatory compliance, or that you want to improve the information security um, of your organization by following one of these frameworks, then you're going to start looking into policies, system policies. And in this case, we're going to be talking about information security policies specifically. And a policy is a document that is going to provide or demonstrate a general view of what you are trying to accomplish. That policy document is not a specific document detailing how you're going to do things and what you're going to do things. For that, you're going to have the processes and procedures, which are also documents that you have the option to create. But let's concentrate on the policy aspect of this for now. So, a policy document should be easy to understand, right? So, let me come in here. Oh, if I can write with this thing, that will help. So, the policy document should be easy to understand, should be easy to follow. And the reason for that is because when you are creating a policy document, you don't want to create something that is too strict or that it is unrealistic, even if you have good intentions with it. And I'm saying this because many security people only think about security. And it's great that you are concerned with the security of the organizations, but you also have to be realistic if that policy can be successfully implemented. Because there may be situations where you wish that something was in a certain way and that people follow that in a specific way, but realistically speaking, it may not be possible. So, in that case, you may want to apply some type of compensating controls or adapt the policy to what you're doing at that moment and then review the policy in the future as the organization matures and improve the policy. A policy should have specifics sections in it, and that's one of the reasons why I brought or I had this um, acceptable use policy from SANS, right? And something to keep in mind and see right here is that I downloaded this policy from the SANS website. So if you go to, let me come here. Where did I go? Hold on a second. If you Google SANS policy templates downloads, you're gonna notice one of the first links is gonna be the one taking you to the SANS website. And once you get there, you're gonna have a section of policies that they have made public, or policy templates, I should say, that you can download either a PDF or a Word document and adapt the policy to your specific environment. And this is something that is going to make your life easier because you don't have to write the policy from scratch, right? You can use an information security policy that it is based on best practices and just customize it to your unique environment. I would suggest, though, that you do more than just simply changing, as you can see here that it says company name. Don't be one of those who just goes into these policies and changes this section. Make sure that you read it and make sure that this policy template is going to address and adapt to your unique environment. It is great that you have this policy to use as a reference, but make sure that you understand the policy so it can be applied to your organization. The other option that you can do, right? In that case, we have the SANS security policies templates. You can also download it from CIS. So the Center for Information Security, if you see here, I just typed CIS needs policy templates. Uh, and they do have a very useful document. It's a PDF document that you can download. You open it, and they have the policies based on the NIST cybersecurity framework of families, right? So you see the NIST cybersecurity framework here, and then you have the different functions within the NIST cybersecurity framework. So if you're looking for policies related to identity, so here you have them. If you're looking for policies related to the protect functions of the NIST framework, here you have them. The only thing you need to do is, for instance, let's say that uh, you want to do something about respond, right? And then you want to say, oh, I need a policy for response and planning. So you click on here, and that's going to take you to that section where you're going to have more specific subcategories of what you're looking for. And then you click on it, and that's going to automatically download that policy document template for you. As you could see, the format that they follow is a little bit different than the one that you are going to have for SANS, but it's up to you to customize this and have it in a way that is going to make sense to you. The other thing that I wanted to mention, and you can see that right here, is what should be included in the policies. When you have a policy document, you're going to have different sections of the policy. As you can see, we have purpose in this case, reference, policy, and then within the policy, you're going to have what specifically you're outlining for that specific section. And if you scroll down, you're going to have a section for compliance, policy exceptions, and dates and signatures. If we come down to the SANS policy templates, it's going to have a similar structure, but it's going to be formatted differently. For instance, SANS is going to have overview, purpose, scope, the policy section, and then if you keep scrolling down, it's going to have the compliance sections related standards and processes, definitions and terms, and revision history. Now, it's up to you to decide which of the templates or the section of the policies you would like to include in your documents. Based on experience, I've seen that the sections that SANS has in its policy documents aligned with the best practices that everybody accepts within the organization. Now, there may be some policies that are not going to include maybe some of these sections, for instance, like the definition. If you have a simple policy, you don't have to add any definitions to it, right? Which is totally fine. But it is very important for you to understand what this is and why is it there. So when it comes to the overview, you want to give a brief description of why you are creating this policy or this document, right? Now, if we come down to the purpose, is the specific reason why you are implementing or you are creating this policy. The scope is where and who this policy is going to apply to. Is it going to be for everybody in the organization, including visitors? Is it going to be only for certain employees or certain systems within your organization? So you have to define the scope to make sure that it can be uh, enforced. Then you have the section where you're going to specify in general terms the policy, the policy information, right? And again, this is not a section where you're going to be detailing step by step what you are going to do. That's for processes and procedure documents. And within the policy, you're going to have the option of referencing those documents. So if we keep scrolling down, you're going to see that as we come down, and I like the Sans format because, I mean, they've been around since forever and is accepted by the industry. So we have the policy compliance. And for this, you have to make sure that you also talk to department leaders and HR in your organization, because depending if on the policy, the the consequences for not following the policies may be more extremes in some policies than others. And that's not something that information security decides, that's something that HR or upper management decides, right? What happens if uh, users are not in compliance with the policies? And this is what I was referring to before, related standards and procedures. In this case, these are the documents you're going to be referring uh, to go deeper and into details about the policies that you are trying to enforce. It is a good practice if you have hyperlinks to those documents. So when users come over here and they click on it, they can be redirected to that section and look at the other policy. And then you have definitions and terms. And that is, if you feel that you need to explain or make something clear in the policy that could be a little bit confusing, and the revision history section. So that is for you to keep track of what's happening here, because it is a best practice, especially if you're following one of the information security frameworks. It is a best practice to review the policies every 12 months. So you want to keep track of when was the policy review and what changes were made to it. And also, it is a good practice to include a signature section, which I don't see here. And that is for upper management to sign off on the policy to demonstrate that uh, it has been reviewed by management. So, those are the concepts of the policies. And again, this is not something that by itself is going to uh, protect your network. But if you apply the policy, and if your organization follow these policies that you are going to be creating, then you're going to have a chance to improve the information security of your organization or the cybersecurity of your organization. And if you get audited by any third party or any other organization, they're going to see the directive, the directions that you are following to ensure that your organization is secure. And lastly, policies can protect you or protect your organization legally, right? So, and again, you have to get legal involved with this, but it's one of those things that, for instance, if your organization gets hacked or compromised, and then you are brought into a lawsuit or something like that, they would like to see if you were performing your due diligence to protect the information, and having policies will help you. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know all the details of that, but I can assure you that uh, proving that you were performing due diligence and a policy is part of it is going to have an effect in the whole situation. So I hope this video was useful to you. Again, this was not a technical video. I'll go back to those videos at another time, but I believe it's important to cover this aspect. And we're going to be talking about processes and procedures in the next time, and maybe we'll talk about a couple of information security frameworks such as CIS and NIST, which are some of the most popular frameworks out there. If you like this video, please just click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and comment on the video. And, I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Have an amazing rest of the day, week, and I'll talk to you later.